I'm Lee Johnson. I'm here today to talk to you about bluebird houses. I've been building bluebird houses for about 30 years to replace boxes that are damaged or worn out on the routes existing around the counties, and for my own pleasure and enjoyment to start new routes and to give away to my friends. I built over the years somewhere approaching about 2,000 birdhouses using a tried and true plan. Been fortunate enough to get donated materials from Orville Reman and Reload. Kudos to them for their generosity and perfect materials for building bluebird boxes. Rough cut pine, kiln dried but not planed, so it's rough and it's thicker than store-bought boards. About 1986, Dale Swedberg came to this area from Ellensburg area and noticed that there were not very many bluebirds in our county. The reason for that would be that orchards had become prevalent in the valley, and so they applied a lot of pesticides, and so there wasn't a lot of food for bluebirds to eat. Bluebirds had a lack of nesting opportunity in the valley, primarily because of loss of cavities, mainly due to competition from introduced species.
Right. Well, definitely the bluebird nest sites are taken over by starlings and house sparrows, both of which are non-migratory. Bluebirds are migratory, although I have seen some western bluebirds overwinter in Okanogan. It's not a common sight, but when the migratory bluebirds come back, and most of the nest sites are already taken over by starlings or house sparrows. So putting up more nest sites, I think, helps them.
Cavities have become more scarce as people cut down dead trees. Dead trees are some of the most valuable trees that are out there. There's way more living, beautiful green trees than there are snags. Snags are very important for all kinds of cavity nesting birds. So bluebirds count on woodpeckers to make cavities, and they count on us to make cavities.
When I got to Okanogan County and I was out driving around as a Fish and Wildlife officer with Fish and Wildlife, I noticed there weren't a lot of bluebirds around. There were more in the Highlands than there were down low, and the opportunity for putting up nest boxes came up, and so I used the nest boxes that I had built and put those up, and then I built more and got more from some other people and put those up. Yeah, it just seemed like it made sense to put up bluebird nest boxes on fence lines around the area and along the roads where they were easily accessible, and they need to be cleaned out every fall or every spring before March when the bluebirds come back. They migrate back and set up housekeeping. I started recruiting others that came forward to help out, were interested, and Lee Johnson was one and George Halikas was the other. Were two that jumped right in and wanted to help out. So they started helping build nest boxes and putting nest boxes up, and then also cleaning the nest boxes out. I got word out somehow to other people in the community, and had a couple from Malott. Their last name was Hand. I think it was in 1992 that I got together with a teacher here in Tenasket High School, and his biology class was going to clean boxes and monitor the use, what different bird species were using them. the boxes, and also talked with the shop teacher. So tried to make it an educational project out of the whole thing and get more people involved, in particular school kids. Yeah, the biology teacher involved, and then the Oroville Reman and Reload, which used to be Oroville Bin and Pallet, donated a lot of materials, and then Lee Franks donated hardware like nails and screws, and yeah, it was a good project. Everybody got involved, and then the biology teacher moved, and other people began to adopt the strings on their own and maintaining the boxes on their own. So it's glad to hear that there's people still doing it. Yeah, over the years, after the nest boxes were put up, myself, I counted, I think it was close to 800 boxes that I put up between 1986 and the early 90s, 92 or 93. And I had a number of people, actually quite a few people, mention that they saw more bluebirds out and about the area than they had previously. That they noticed an increased number of bluebirds as a result of the increased number of boxes. So that made me feel good that the bluebirds were increasing in number, and they're kind of a pretty little thing on the landscape. I think it's great when community members can take on projects like this and do things for wildlife. That's always a good thing. The wildlife is the responsibility of everybody as a community, and yeah, it's a way that everybody can get involved and actually see some results from their efforts. I'm just excited that somebody is willing to carry the program on.
After the boxes were installed, bluebirds became much more common, and today as I speak, 2020, bluebirds are everywhere in the Highlands. Maybe not so many down in the valley, still because of orchards and lack of nesting opportunity, but in the Highlands, they're common, and we all just sort of take for granted that there's bluebirds everywhere. Well, it didn't happen just by chance. It happened primarily because Dale Swedberg started this operation, and then in the ensuing years, myself and a number of other people have done a lot of work to maintain the birdhouses and to clean them out every fall.